Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Koholo Yahweh, Bashem Ashai, Bashem Hakadesh, double answer, Pastor Elder, great millstone, that taught me this one the truth to rule well. Salutations to the Akim pushing the truth in all sincerity, where still lies to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that is scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth of Yahweh Bashem Ashai. Shalom. This is Deuteronomy 7:6, which reads, For thou shalt, Slakia, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Yeah, so the Lord, I'm saying, chose the nation of Israel to be above all nations. And, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because, to show that there's no such thing as equality. You know what I'm saying? Like in Esau Edom's kingdom, he got people believing that there's a thing called equality. But that's not how the Lord made it, because this is his rulership. And in each rulership, it was known who were you know, the world power at the time, and, who were in servitude to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Egyptians, the Assyrians, the Babylonian Empire, the Persians, the Medes, the Grecian and the Romans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was known that, that those people were in charge, and that it was their kingdom to be ran. You know what I'm saying? And the nation of Israel was taken in captivity to all these nations and whatnot. And it was known that, we were the captives and they were the rulers. You know what I'm saying? But in this current captivity of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, you know, Esau came with the deception of equality, and he doesn't want you to understand that, this is his kingdom, this is rulership, because his kingdom was the last kingdom to be ruled, that the Lord was going to destroy, and, um, give salvation to his people, redeem his people. You know what I'm saying? And, he was going to get his just punishment in the day of the Lord. You know, so he came up with this whole, deception that, what I'm saying, like everybody's equal. You know what I'm saying? There's no man above another and all this whatever. But that's not so. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not how the Lord made it. But, that's the narrative that he saw Edom, the so-called white man, created in his kingdom. Again, this is Deuteronomy 14:2, which reads, For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh hath chosen thee to be above, it's like it, to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Yeah, the nation of Israel is upon all the nations. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has chose us to be his people. You know what I'm saying? And he placed us over all of the earth. Because this is how the you know how the Lord chose it to be and whatnot. So, in our times that, you know, we had, our rules, and, we came out of our captivities, it was known that who we were. Like, the people, what I'm saying, they had fear of our power, and they feared, who we were as a people. Because, at that time, we knew who we were. And the Lord made it known that he was the power of the nation of Israel, you know? But because of, our disobedience and our slackness into the Lord, the Lord took us, and put us in these captivities as a punishment. And we're still in captivity to this day, because the Lord said he was going to redeem us, that, the Lord was going to send us into Egypt on slave ships again, in which, Egypt just means bondage, and this is where we are in our modern day captivity of Babylon, the great daughter Babylon, or what they, called it, so-called United States of America. You know what I'm saying? And we're holding and we're living out our captivity here. You know what I'm saying? Until the Lord, comes to redeem us. And this is Genesis 25 and 21. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together in her within her womb. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days be slacker, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there was twins in her womb. And the first came out red and slacker, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And Esau Edom is actually the red man, not the white man. That's the term that he came up with, you know what I'm saying, to hide the fact that he's Esau Edom, and who the Lord hates, because the Lord said, he hates Esau, you know, and that, you know, this blessing or this you know it's like the Lord gave Jacob the blessing already from birth, that um, he was going to be ruling over you know his brother and his people. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says the elder should serve the younger, because the Lord, you know, um, made Esau a slave. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that there's no equality there. You know what I'm saying? That's something that he deceived the people to believe. Esau Edom was born to be a servant and to be the wicked. You know what I'm saying? In the earth, he was born to be a slave or whatnot, and he was born to be the wicked and fulfill his destiny of being the wicked of the earth and causing mass chaos and destruction. You know what I'm saying? And deception for the Lord to destroy and take him out and show his power. But let's go to Genesis 27, because that shows you that um, he you know that shows you that there's no equality, because if someone is a slave, how can he be his equal? If that means the Lord has appointed someone to rule over you, and this is the blessing that Jacob was given, by Isaac, you know, through Yahweh Shem Shai, because it was already predetermined from birth. You know what I'm saying? That's why we was warring, Jacob was warring in the womb with Esau, because we were two different nations, and we were enemies. You know what I'm saying? The Lord appointed us to be enemies. You know, so even though they were brothers, twin brothers, one came out a different complexion. That's why he said, Esau Edom was red and hairy. I mean, he was red and like a hairy garment. You know what I'm saying? So he he was red because they say he was red because he had no pigmentation. Esau, his name means wasted away is he. So it was, that curse of Cain that that mark of Cain that was upon him, being that, you know, he was Cain in reincarnation for those that could receive that, showing you that, you know, um, that curse was still upon him and his people, you know, 'cause he was born into the earth without pigmentation. You know, that was part of his curse, you know, so it could be blatantly known who he is. And, you know, that his flesh was wasted away because you can see, and they call him red because you can see his blood, you know, through his skin, you know. If you see, I know you heard the term of the redneck, you know what I'm saying? Because this devil, he is red, you know what I'm saying? Because he has no pigmentation, you know. So he created you know, the concept of being white for, you know, um, social, you know, for white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? When he came into his resurrection, his uh, doing his the revival of the Roman Empire, when he came to the Americas, you know what I'm saying? He came with his, you know, deception of, you know, um, creating the whole, you know, white and black concept or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, to disguise who he is, and he wanted to put that negative stamp on Jake of dark or black or whatever, being darkness, and, you know, white means pure. So he wants to say that he's the pure individual, which, you know, he's the wicked, you know. But, you know, that's the deception, you know, that he came with. But this is Genesis 27:19, which reads, and Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise and pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that my soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it so that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And said, because Yahweh thy power brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voices of Jacob, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And that's because, you know, um, his mother put a hairy garment upon him, to him, you know, to deceive Isaac to believe he was Esau. And because, you know, Isaac was, you know, going blind at this time. And Rebecca knew from, you know, the vision or the message sent that, you know, Jacob was going to receive the blessing. So, but the Lord, you know, created, you know, this scenario for this to take place. But it was already predetermined from birth that, you know, Jacob was going to receive the blessing. But the Lord likes to, you know, create, you know, controversy, you know, for his own sake, because it's a story, for the theatrics of it. And he created this scenario to go with it. But, you know, and he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother's Esau's hands, so he blessed him. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And, and he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, son. And he came near, and he kissed him, and he smelled the smell of the remnant, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which Yahweh hath blessed. Therefore The therefore the Most High give thee the dew of the heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every man that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. So yeah, the Lord gave Jacob the blessing, showing you that there's no such thing as equality. He said that his brother, that he was going to rule over his brother and his brother's descendants. You know, so showing you that there's no equality, but Esau Edom had deceived the world to believe that there's equality, and Esau got his own blessing here, and it says, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing, that Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise, and eat of my son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled and very exceedingly, and said, Whoa, it's like it, were where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Ye and his ye and he shall be blessed. And Esau heard the words of his father. He cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also my father. and, he, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, and he said, is not thy rightful name Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing, and he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So Esau, he that's what he does. He's want to play victim, but it was already predetermined that the Lord was going to give the blessing to uh, Jacob or whatnot. His blessing was never stolen. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord created these scenarios because that's what He does. Because it's His story. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So the Lord already, had predetermined that Esau was going to be a servant until his brother Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that there's no equality, that this devil was, um, going to be a servant, you know. But the Lord also gave him a blessing as well, and this is his blessing that he's ruling in now. He's living out now, you know, in this current day and age. You know what I'm saying? He got the upper hand on his brother, who is the nation of Israel, Jacob, and he's ruling over him. And this was the blessing that Isaac gave it to him through Yahweh Bashim Mashai. And it reads, Genesis 27 and 38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father? And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shall have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of the mourning of my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob. So showing you that, this devil got a perpetual hatred for us because we're enemies, you know. And, you know, um, right now, we when we had took this devil out of his reign of the Roman Empire, he was able to come back into power and break the yoke of iron, off his neck. Also, it's like it. Also with King David and Solomon, you know, carried on the reign. These Edomites, were in submission into the nation of Israel, and you know, during that time, you know, when our kingdom fell, these devils they got the upper hand and they, broke the iron off their neck and they came to power, with their Grecian captivity and the Roman captivity, with their Grecian empire and the Roman empire. But they also got wounded, and you know the kingdom fell, but they're resurrected, and you know America is the new Rome, or whatnot. So this is Exodus 17:46. For he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Yeah, so you know it's determined that we're going to have war with our enemies, who's Esau Edom, and Amalek is the chief tribe of Esau Edom. You know, show you that there's no equality if we're enemies. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna give your enemy or your servant, you know, uh, you know, equality. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this devil, he's not admitting to you. You know what I'm saying? He's telling Jake, go out here and vote, so you can get in the, proper position, and everything could be fair, and because it's all about equality. But that's a lie. That's part of his deception. That's part of his blessing in itself. You know, because he's not telling you that this is his rulership, and you're supposed to be in submission to him right now. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing of equality is a farce. There's no such thing, especially if it's to your enemy, because you're not going to give your enemy equality, and you're not going to give your servant equality. This is Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand, and he laid on the dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bonded him 1,000 years. Yeah. So this is when the Lord took Esau Edom out of power. You know what I'm saying? He took down, you know, the Roman Empire, and the bottomless pit is Europe. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake, once Jake took down Esau Edom, you know, they ruled in that land from around the 300 AD to about 13, 1400 AD or whatnot. And then that's when this devil, you know, pretty much came back into power. But that's what was prophesied. You know what I'm saying? His 1,000 years of him being bonded and then being released, going into Revelation 20:3, and he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he said, deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season. And this is the little season that he's loose. The deadly wound was healed. Going to Revelation 13:3, on of the of this devil. You know what I'm saying? After the Roman Empire fell, and Jake took over Europe for the 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? The Byzantine Empire. Or the Dark Ages. This devil always trying to cover that up. Or we don't know what happened during the Dark Ages. He didn't want to admit that he wasn't ruling at the time. He was at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So but the Lord allowed him to come back and to power, fulfill prophecy, and You know, this is his resurrection of the Roman Empire here, today in, so-called United States or whatnot. So he was able, to heal his wound and come back and deceive the nations. What did this devil tell you? You know what I'm saying? That, he's Jacob. He's, what I'm saying? That there's equality, which is false. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that the Lord's people are so-called white. You know what I'm saying? The small hats are the people of the the Lord's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? They're the Israelites. They're Jacob. They're Judah, or the Jew, or Jewish, or whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? They've stolen our identity, and that's part of the deception or the deceiving that the Lord, allowed him to do, because he got the whole world thinking. The whole world don't know that we are the Lord's chosen people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They believe that the small hats are the people of the Lord, which is not true. You know what I'm saying? That's the false. They said that. You know what I'm saying? They stolen the identity of the Lord's people. So when you Google the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Angels or God, anything like that, what pops up of is of pictures of so-called white people. You know what I'm saying? That's why he says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who is he? Showing that he's the devil, he's the wicked of the earth, and the earth is given into his hand, and that was part of his blessing, him taking over things and ruling with the sword. How did he take the nation of Israel into submission? By coming through with the sword and putting them into captivity. You know what I'm saying? That's his blessing, and he rules right now. That's why he got the mightiest military there is in the earth, because that's what the blessing that was given to you. And he trusts highly. And you see these so-called white people out here, these Edomites, they love, gun rights, gun rights, gun rights, because that's their blessing. And if you try to take their blessing away from them, they ready to fight you for it. You know what I'm saying? They ready to put you to death and go to war to hold on to their blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that was given them to, and they don't even know why they so prideful and love guns so much. You know what I'm saying? But that's just part of, their spirit. That's, their DNA. That's the way the Lord made them or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're so proudful. They say proud to be an American. That's all part of their pride, man. He's the proud man, and the Lord is going to take this devil down. But yeah, so this 1,000 years rule, his 1,000 year of being in submission is, has been up, and now he's back in his power. And this is the little season that the Lord allowed him to rule before he take him out. You know what I'm saying? But that's about to come to the end, because everything is here. Mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? World War III on the brinks. All that is the awakening of the nation of Israel. All this, we're living in the last days of the last days. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much it. So and the Lord is revealing the son of perdition. He making Esau bitter. And this devil hates this truth. You know what I'm saying? This so-called white man, Esau Edom, he hates this truth. He hates that he's being exposed, and that's why he rushing to get these things done. Pushing forth his digital currency, and uh, um, getting ready to implement his chip, because he know that uh, he was going to have but a short time in these times. This is his current kingdom, man, and he's ruling, and you can see that there's no such thing as inequality, because Jake catching hell in so-called America. You know what I'm saying? And the daughter of Babylon, because we under these curses, and we serving out of punishment. We serving out of captivity right now. You know, but Jake, they want to try to enjoy the luxuries of it, but you can't, because there's no equality. This devil's in control. The Lord has appointed him to be over you right now. You know, but that time is almost up. And this is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men, and showing you that the Lord has given his devil into power, because Esau Edom is the base man. He's the slave. You know what I'm saying? He gave into the basis of men. The base man is Esau Edom. He's the lowest of all nations. You know what I'm saying? He was the nation that was born to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? And to be the wicked in the earth, and he's fulfilling that. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna fulfill, his uh, uh, duty to be a slave too in our kingdom to come or whatnot. But the Lord has gave him reign right now, and he's doing what he's supposed to do, being the wicked of the earth, being bringing chaos, destruction, uh, genocide, uh, uh, wickedness, all the abominations that are against Yahweh Shemashai, because he's the Lord's adversary. Anything the Lord stands for, he's against. You know what I'm saying? Pushing homosexuality, uh, you know, bestiality, uh, um, pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? This devil, he push off types of work, and they're supportive of that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He push all type of wickedness, you know, in the earth. You know, and because he, but that's what the Lord has set him up to do. You know what I'm saying? To do this wickedness within the earth, because that's part of his what he was created to be. So yes, so every kingdom that was ran was put in order by the Lord. The Lord set these kingdoms up. You know what I'm saying? The Assyrian and the Babylonian Empire. He took it from them and gave it to the Persian Mede Empire. Then he took that from them and put the Grecian Empire, Alexander the Great, and then he came through and put the Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? The Grecian and Roman Empire, or the Edomite rulerships or whatnot. They just had inner fightings amongst each other, and one empire overcame the other. You know what I'm saying? And we're still in that last stretch of the Roman Empire now. But Esau Edom has deceived the world to believe that he's not the he's not the the Edomites or whatnot. He got part of his deception. You know what I'm saying, was telling the people that he's Jake. You know what I'm saying? Telling them the angels are white. All the people, King David, all these people are white. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He did that. You know what I'm saying? The Messiah is white, and they changed his name. Deception of telling pushing a false doctrine that the Lord loved everybody. Everybody can be saved. You know what I'm saying? The immaculate conception, to do away with the bloodline, so they can't say that that the Lord only came for the nation of Israel. You could be a spiritual. No, you can't be a spiritual like that. The only way you can be a spiritual Israelite if you're of the bloodline of the nation of Israel. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be of another nation and be an Israelite. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. You know. And they told you with the so-called black men, that you the Hamites. You know what I'm saying? That's the lie. That's part of all his deception, that he came to be African and all this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? This devil's a wicked motherfucker. But that's part of his deception. He's clever. You know what I'm saying? He's the devil. He's the deceiver. That's what the Lord gave him. To be. That's part of his blessing. That deception. But it was the Lord that set this devil up and put him in the power, the base man, the slave. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is Baruch. Let me start at second address 6 and 50. Where I want to start? 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who's the chosen people of the nation of Israel? I mean, who's the chosen people? The nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He said that Adam will come be all, and also the chosen people of the nation of Israel. You know? Knowing all this have I spoken before O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. The Lord made the nation, the world for our sakes. You know what I'm saying? But being that we were wicked, we went off. He took that away from us. You know what I'm saying? But truly, everything's for our sake. But we're gonna get it back. And when Yahweh Shai come to redeem us. You know, and the two showing you that there's two th- that we're separated from these other people. You know what I'm saying? That we're above them. The Lord said we are peculiar people unto Him, and we're above all nations. We're separate from these people. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that there's no equality. As for the other people which also come of Adam, that thou hast said that they will, it's like that they are nothing but likened to spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Showing you that the Lord don't give a shit about the other nations. He said the other nations that come out of it nothing but spittle. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a shit about them. Showing you that there's no equality. If there was equality, the Lord, I thought the Lord, you say the Lord loved everybody. Anybody can come to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? He's all loving. That's what this devil has told you. You know what I'm saying? That the Lord's all loving. Anybody can come to him. He save everybody. No, no, that's not so. The Lord only come to save his people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There's no quality. The scriptures just tell you that, you know what I'm saying, that, his people are peculiar people and they're above all nations. And he's telling you that the other nations don't mean shit to him. Showing you that there is no equality, that there is a superior nation. And right now, the superior nation is Esau Edom in his kingdom. But he deceived the people to believe that there's equality, but there's not. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and devour us. Yeah. Right now they ruling over us because we're serving out a punishment. The heathen, Esau, Edom, and the other nations have gained rulership over us because we went off against our power, Yahweh Shem Shai. And the Lord said these people are reputed as nothing because He don't give a shit about them. But He making a point and making us serve in a captivity to Him for us, being disobedient to Him and turning away from Him and being an adulterous people spiritually unto Him and serving these other gods and idols and taking upon the ways of these people in our captivities. But only the elect is taking that and turning that around. But many of our people, what I'm saying, they're still trapped in the ways of this world, continuing on, but following the ways of their oppressor and the heathens that they're surrounded about, celebrating birthdays, holidays, Christmas, what I'm saying, Thanksgiving, New Year's, whatever, doing the things that, taking upon these, ways of the heathen, celebrating these pagan holidays that are totally against the scriptures and whatnot. The Lord gave us our days to celebrate, and those that have are turning to the Lord, they're taking upon the high holy days that the Lord has given unto us. Rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of our ability. We're doing, but we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world be made for our sakes, why why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? And that's not going to take place until Yahweh Shai, show up on the scene because nobody will buy us or redeem us. You know what I'm saying? Except Yahweh Shai. The Lord was going to handle that. So we're going to suffer until the Lord get here, showing you that these so-called Jewish people can't be the people because they're not suffering. You know what I'm saying? They're not trouble as other men. They rule. You know what I'm saying? They rule. You know, they rule in the movie industry, the financial industry. All they on top. You know what I'm saying? So if they at the bottom, and the curse said that we were going to come to our, you know, enemies or oppressors for all needs. How is it that you know uh, they run the system? You know what I'm saying? And the true people of the Lord that's under the curses of Deuteronomy was going to be in suffering and being in a captive state until the Lord get here. These devils, they ain't in a captive state. You know what I'm saying? How they got the finances to be at the top if you know, they serving out a punishment because they're not. They're not the people, man. That's the deception that this devil came up with. You know, part of his blessing that the Lord gave him. You know, and this is Amos 3:1. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against ye, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought from the land of Egypt. You only have I known of all the families on the earth. Therefore I will punish you and all your iniquities. And this is why we catching the punishment, because only the Lord knows the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like he chose us. We're the peculiar people. And because we went off, we're getting the punishment. Oh, and I meant to get, when the scripture says here that, um, the firstborn son, that firstborn son is Israel. You know what I'm saying? This is second Esdras uh, 2:58. But we, thy people, whom thou callest thy firstborn, the only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into the hands. And, we've been given into the hands for the punishment. But it's Exodus 4:22, which reads, Thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. You know what I'm saying? So when he's talking about who's the firstborn, he's talking about, the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? We're beginning into the hands of the heathens to serve out this captivity. And this is Baruch 4:4, which reads, O Israel, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. Ye were delivered into the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and yet have grieved Jerusalem and nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, the Most High have brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they depart from the law of the Most High. They knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell in Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which everlasting have brought upon thee. Yeah, and that's because we went off against the Lord and we got his ways. The Lord sent us into captivity, showing you that there's no equality. You know what I'm saying? That there has to be somebody ruling over the Lord's people. So how can we be equal? Is it possible to be equal if you're in a captivity and you're being ruled over? For he hath brought a nation upon them from afar, a shameless nation, and a stranger in a strange language, who neither reverence old men nor pity children. And they didn't. When these devils took us into power, they didn't reverence old men and children. They took out everybody. You know what I'm saying? When they came, when Cristobal Colombo came over here, he came and he, set genocide upon the northern kingdom, the Native Americans, Latinos. You know what I'm saying? He put a mass murdering upon them. You know what I'm saying? You know, showing they're the wicked, but that was ordained because the Lord set that up as a punishment unto us. And he did the same thing for the Southern Kingdom when when he brought us from the west coast of Africa, and he brought us into the land here in this captivity of Babylon, that you know he he came with the sword with us as well. You know what I'm saying? And put that yoke of iron around our necks. In this captivity, he showed no pity. He did this. From the elderly to the young. You know what I'm saying? He started us all. You know, he, they had the thing called Gator Bait when they was feeding Jake children to alligators, to catch alligators. You know what I'm saying? So he had no pity upon the children. You know, that's why he got to pay for what he done. This devil want to get double the portion of the things that he did unto us. You know what I'm saying? Read on. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. But, but what can I? But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Yeah, the Lord going to deliver us from this devil. You know what I'm saying? And it's coming, and that's when we're gonna get our recompense. But until then, we're gonna be at the bottom, and we're not gonna be nobody's equal. You know what I'm saying? As this devil has set you to believe. And it's going to be known that, who we are when we take place. This is Joel 2:27, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, that I am Yahweh your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. Yeah, it's going to be known. The Lord is only known to us. This is only our power. You know what I'm saying? He's not the God of any other nations. He's only the God of the nation of Israel. You know? This is Ezekiel 25:12. Thus says Yahweh, Ba'ashem Rashai, because Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus says Yahweh, Power Shem Yahushai, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off men and beasts from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dadan shall fall by the sword, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said Yahweh Shem Shai. Yeah, see, showing you that, if the Lord can allow us to get vengeance upon our enemy Esau Edom, how is there any equality? There's no equality, because it's going to be known that there's a nation in power. When we take over our reigns again, it's going to be known that the nation of Israel is in reign or whatnot. It's not going to be no deception of, oh, go and vote and try to get some equality. We're here for you to help you. Nah, it's not going to be none of that. It's like, nigga, this is who you are. You the wicked. You Esau Edom. You Moab. You know what I'm saying? You Ammon. And it's going to be, this is what you're going to do. And we're going to beat it into submission and make you understand who you are as a people, and let you know that this is a righteous rulership, and you're going to answer to us. And this is Isaiah 14:1, which read, for the Lord, for Yahweh will have mercy upon Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers, which are Israelite foreigners, coming back into the fold, not strangers of different nations. No, the strangers that the Lord talking about here is the nation of Israel. Strangers coming back into the fold of Israel shall be joined unto them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And we're going to come back into that, the house of David, the house of Jacob, and remember the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai. Now it's going to something else here, Isaiah 14:2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So yes, it's going to be known that the nation of Israel is in rule, and there's going to be no equality. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no such thing. This is Psalms 2 and 8, which reads, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the othermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a slakia. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. Yeah, so this is David, giving a future prophecy that, the nation of Israel is going to get the heathen for thy inheritance, for thine inheritance, in the coming of Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? When Yahweh Shai come, he was going to, put these nations in submission, and he was going to give them, you know, the inheritance along with them. And Yahweh Shai said it himself again in Revelations 2 and 26, showing you that the Old and New Testament, the Old Testament is not done away with. There's still prophecies in the Old Testament that have been fulfilled, as these, Christians in modern day, plantation Christianity tried to say, But anyway, this Revelation 22 and 26, which reads, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was trying to even tell you, like, listen, if you keep on waiting to the end, I'm gonna give you power over nations. So that's what's gonna happen in our rulership. We're gonna rule over uh, these other nations that had, took us into these captivities, and we're gonna punish them as they had done it to us. You know what I'm saying? Except for our punishment is gonna be a righteous punishment. We're not gonna do wicked shit like Esau Edom did with us in his captivity, and committed adulteries with they other men's wives, and uh, sodomize the men. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do that. That's wickedness. That's against our laws. But we're gonna get our get back, but we're gonna get it back righteously. We're not gonna do the shit that they did. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna have hell to pay. In the kingdom, Esau Edom, so-called white man, you got hell to pay, man. You lied and deceived and said all this shit about equality, but there is none. You know what I'm saying? Trying to hide who you are. But in our kingdom, it's not gonna be none of that. It's gonna be known that we are in rule, and we're gonna beat these other heathen nations' asses. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be in servitude for 1,000 years, and after 1,000 years, Esau Edom gonna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And the other nations are gonna go back to the civilizations, but they're gonna know that the nation of Israel is in power, because they're gonna have to answer to us, and they're gonna have to answer to our laws, and the men of the nation of Israel, are going to uphold, the laws of Yahweh Shema Shai, and teach them to the among the nations. All the men of the nation of Israel are going to do that, because we're going to be the priesthood of all the nations. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to, make sure, everybody stay in order. But with that, there is ranking. You know what I'm saying? The 144,000, King David, Yahweh Shai. There's going to be a ranking system within, our community as itself. But we're going to be above all the nations on the earth, and we're going to be the only immortals that walk the face of the planet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else going to die and come back, all these other heathen nations, but not the nation of Israel, because our kingdom is going to be forever. We're going to always live forever to see our kingdom. We're going to be immortal. All this stuff that you see on TV, superpowers and all, we're going to have all that. That's what they stole us from. They stole that from the scriptures. And this is Isaiah 61:9. This is a scripture I seen today. A video I was watching with Elder Yashawamba of Dallas. So he brought this out. I was like, this is perfect for this. Letting you know that, the nation of Israel is going to be evident that, we're going to be, sitting on top in our kingdom, and it's going to be known. So this is Isaiah 61:9. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles. So all the Gentile nations, this is the heathen Gentiles, they go to know that, the nation of Israel is in power. And their offspring among the people, all that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh have blessed. Everybody going to know that we are the nation of Israel, just like they did before. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to know now. And they're going to know, the great exodus, that he did when he came and put the modern day Pharaoh, Esau Edom, into submission, taking him out of power, take this devil out of his reign, and bringing in His kingdom and putting the nation of Israel at the forefront again. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a righteous king forever. And like the scriptures say, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous bear rule, the people going to rejoice. All the nations going to rejoice. Even this devil Esau Edom, because it ain't going to be no his wife, committing adultery, none of that. That's not going to happen in our kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like they do allow here, like a woman can just go lay with a man and decide that, or this shit ain't going to work out and go lay with him. That's not going to happen in our kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So all these heathen nations, these women's, having a way, whatever it may be, that's not going to happen in our kingdom. No matter, if you, now our people ain't going to sin because our women and stuff are not going to be able to go off because the laws could be written inside of them and we could be made perfect. But the other nations, they still going to be able to sin. They're going to still be able to this flesh and they're still going to be going off or whatnot. And Satan's still going to be giving them hell because he's needed, you know what I'm saying, to make them go off so we can give correction and whatnot. So, but it's still going to be ordered, and they righteous ain't going to be able to leave. They're going to have to stay. Ain't going to be none of that, you know what I'm saying, in the kingdom. Like they got this wicked shit going on here. Proper order going to be restored in the earth. And let's jump down to Isaiah 61:11. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord power will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The glory of Yahweh is going to cause righteousness to bring forth because the world going to know there's a righteous rulership within the earth. It's going to be known that the nation of Israel is in power, and we're going to let it be known that we're in power and beat you devils and you other heathen nations into submission, make you understand that this is a righteous rulership. All that wicked shit y'all did before ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be ran. It's gonna be a tight ship ran. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be known that we in power. Ain't gonna be no deception. Oh, we all equal. No, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is my shit, and you gonna do what the fuck I tell you to do, or you gonna get your ass whipped. Point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying? And all the women and all the people gonna flock to us. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be known, and we're going to have the most elegance of things. The stuff that you see here in this captivity, what this devil got to offer, ain't could be no comparison. You know what I'm saying? We can have the best of everything. Everybody going to know when you see Jake, that dude right, yeah, he a Jake. He a Israelite. Yeah, that's him right there. They got it. They on it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be known. It's going to be evident within the earth. So, I'm going on long enough. I just want to say, hope this lesson is edifying. You know what I'm saying? Showing you like there is no equality, man. You know what I'm saying? Like there are rulerships that the Lord has appointed, in these times, and the nation of Israel has been through these captivities and whatnot. But we've been deceived by this devil Esau Edom to believe that there's a thing called equality, but there's not. According to the scriptures, that's not the case, man. The reason why we're suffering is because we went into these captivities because we are disobedient to our Lord, and we had the bottom line down. And we're not going to gain equality going to this devil asking for it. He's our enemy. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, hope the lesson is edifying. I just want to say, Kohol Yahweh Shem Shai, Kwam Mashallah, Abba Shalom.